Hey guys, Joe here, and today we are doing a one-take pickup video. Normally I'd put up a firearm video, however I'm kind of swamped with what I'm working on right now, so today is going to be the pickups video, and tomorrow, so tune in tomorrow, will be the firearms video. Before we get going on the video, let me ask you guys real quick, if I start doing a Patreon only kind of video playlist where if you're a Patreon member we can do things like show modifications to firearms and how to do things to firearms that necessarily aren't really smiled upon by YouTube and their algorithm, because I don't want to do things that will demonetize the entire channel here. So if you want to be a Patreon member, we're going to do it for like $2 a month. You'll get 3-day early access, no ads for those 3 days, all that good stuff, as well as you can ask me any questions, direct videos, we can do all that good stuff, and you can help direct the channel towards its growth. So let me know down in the comments if you guys would do that. $2 a month, and I'll do videos on how to modify firearms and things you can do, how to repair firearms, stuff like that. But today's video is about the massive pickup that I put up on Twitter. I'll put it down in the links in the description. It's in my about section too. Go to Twitter, follow me there. Instagram, I put up whatever's coming up that week on Instagram. So just do that and help the channel grow. That's out of the way. Let's talk about our pickups. Now, I like to invest my time, and because I have that kind of time being disabled, into finding bundles that most people would pretty much just ignore. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was watching Facebook Marketplace and I extended the range I was willing to take a look at just to see if anything popped up. And lo and behold, something did. And I'm going to show you the ad for it, which is right here. Sorry if it's hard to see. This is actually one of the computers. We'll talk about it when we get to it. But as you can see, this was the picture that was up there. Just looks like old junk computers, right? And it just said huge lot of computer stuff, $200. And then as I was scrolling through, an old monitor, bucket of RAM. And then I stopped here because there were 3 motherboards. And I knew from looking at this last one here that this was an X58. And it had 6 sticks of RAM in it. You know, it's Corsair stuff, so I figured it had to be at least 24 gigs. So I went ahead and messaged the guy, and I shot him an offer. I shot him an offer of $150, and he took it. So, yay. So I ran over. Well, I didn't run over. I went and picked that stuff up, but I also set up 2 other deals so that my trip was worth it. That's another thing. If you're going to drive 40 minutes for a $20 deal, that makes no sense. But if you're going to drive 20, 25 minutes and get 3 deals, 3 bundles, that makes it worth it. Everything I'm going to show you was total for US $375, maybe a little bit less. And I apologize, they're running a marathon above me for some unknown reason, and I have no idea why. But what we're going to do is take a look at the first bundle, and then we'll move on to the other 2. In that bundle was 3 laptops, including this one. This will be the last one we talk about. There was this chintzy little Dell Inspiron with a Centrino processor. These are just fun to see what they can do nowadays. Has a locked BIOS with a password, so you have to remove the CMOS battery to reset that, I believe. I'll have to double check, and then I will reset that and see if this thing's even capable of doing anything in 2020. If it can even go online in 2020. Who knows? Set this down here. Sorry, I've filmed this 3 times and I keep on not liking how I'm presenting the bundles. So, the second laptop was a 17.3-inch Toshiba. This is a L875D. Doesn't matter the model because this thing's junk anyways. Had an AMD processor in it with 8 gigs of RAM. It's a dual-core processor, so bleh, not worth anything nowadays. And these are integrated, so I couldn't remove it even if I wanted to. And it had an APU, so the bad thing is it was junk. The good thing is it had a good screen. So what I did was I yanked the screen out of this one to throw into this one, because this one would power on, but the screen was just completely white. Normally it has a 1080p screen. Unfortunately now it has a 900p screen. No big deal. I can always replace the screen. They're pretty cheap. They're like 20-some bucks. But I just swapped out the screens and I wound up with a working i7 laptop. It has 12 gigs of RAM in it right now. I think I have another 8 gig stick, so I can change it from 12 to 16 gigs. Had a 1 terabyte SSHD in it, so that's the hybrid drive. And I put an SSD in it, wiped the hard drive because it was locked, cloned my Steam library onto it, and I ordered a $6 DVD replacement caddy which will allow me to put the SSHD in there and have a 1 terabyte backup drive. All that, and it took me 20 minutes to fix. So I wind up with like a $250 laptop-ish. The last one sold on eBay for like $310, but it was in nicer condition. So a $250 laptop for 20 minutes of work. There was a lot of like random stuff, as you saw from the pictures that I was scrolling through. A couple older graphics cards, like that's a GTX 260. It's just something for the collection. I didn't even care about these. A 9800 GTX Plus, and I have a 9800 and some other cards I'll compare them to. Wow, I have no idea what they're doing. And a GT 640. This was in a cheap-ass pre-built, so it's still a DDR5. So for a low-profile, just video renderer, that's not the right word, it should work fine. And then various heat sinks and junk like that. But the main thing I wanted was under a bunch of other crap in this box. So let's grab it. This X58 system. This is an Asus P6 X58E Pro motherboard. Had 24 gigs of DDR3 RAM in it and a 6-core i7-970. So fully capable of keeping up with today, especially if you overclock it. And it works. I've tested it. You can also see I have an Nzxt Kraken X62 on here. Quick aside, because it's only a 2-piece pickup. The X62 and this Z270 motherboard, which I didn't plan on taking, $100. Good deal. This system works. I was happy with that. This alone, probably another $120 for just the board and the processor, and then 24 gigs of DDR3 RAM in 2020. That's probably $115 on its own. So, good system there. Next system was another AMD FX system. Running into these all over the place. And here in Winchester in Virginia, they're actually kind of expensive. This is a Gigabyte 990FX UD3 or UD5 upgraded motherboard with a Corsair water cooler on it and an 8120. Underwhelming processor. Don't know why that was on a 990, but this is a complete and working system. It even came with 32 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM. Don't know why it has these aftermarket heat spreaders on there, but the RAM works. All of it's been tested. Again, good system. Put it together, it's probably a $250, $300 system when it's done. Next is just a motherboard, but it's a nice motherboard. This is an Asus Sabertooth 990FX. You can tell by the giant 990FX marking that it has on here. And the Asus Sabertooth lineup is well regarded as a good motherboard and good components on here. So this is going to get a processor that's on another motherboard that's down there, and I'm keeping this because I actually have a box for this motherboard for some reason. Over here on the desk, it's hard to see, is another Gigabyte motherboard. This is a 970A, which has an 8320. That's why I thought it was weird the 990 didn't have that processor on it. And it has 16 gigs of RAM in it, and it works flawlessly. Additionally, this was in a case with this Kingwin 1000 watt 80 plus bronze power supply, which works perfectly. And I've been using that to test all the systems. So, boom, we're ahead of the game already. This Asus 120mm Radiator, which is piss poor and shouldn't be on an X58, was on the X58, so I just need to finish cleaning off the residue from the sticker, and I have the mount, and this will go on probably the 8120 system when I sell it. That was included in the bundle. Let's see, I know I'm forgetting one. Oh, and then this was another just kind of secondary pickup, but it's another working FX system. This is a 970 Aura Pro Gaming with a 9590 on it. Don't know why somebody put a 9590 on a 970, but that'll be coming off going on that Sabertooth 990, and that will be a good system. So this Corsair water cooler was given to me because it didn't have the mounting bracket, so $11 later, working Corsair water cooler, and I wound up getting a free 8320 with this processor motherboard combo. And I traded that 8320, 8 gigs of RAM, and a Dell pre-built 750 watt power supply for a Gigabyte B450 Aorus Elite, I can't remember the exact model, motherboard that I actually sold my buddy 7 months ago, and he went with a different motherboard, so he's actually trading me back for that. So I have nothing into this 9590 now, and I have a B450 motherboard that I could throw a 1600X or a 2700X. I have a couple offers out there right now. We'll see what happens. And then I'll have another a Ryzen system working and ready to go. After that, I did a graphics card bundle because I saw this. It's a G1 Gaming Gigabyte boxed graphics card, and I'm collecting boxed graphics cards. And if I have a graphics card, I'm keeping my eyes for the boxes like on eBay, because I picked up a 780 Lightning OC Lightning box for $10 on eBay. So I'm looking for that card. If you have a MSI Lightning 780, let me know. But anyways, I got this 970 and this RX 480. It's only the 4 gig model, but performance wise, they're about the same as the 8 gig models. They're not fast enough to take advantage of all the RAM. But anyways, got both of those cards for $100. And the RX will go into a system which will more than make up the money. And this goes onto the shelf or into a build. Haven't decided yet. Might go into a small form factor build. I know that's an oxymoron because it's a 3-fan card, but it will fit into the Node 304. So this may go into another home theater PC. And speaking of home theater PCs, this guy. For $30, I got this Silverstone HTPC with a Blu-ray drive, and Blu-ray drives are still $30 to $40 on their own, and it actually has a full computer in it. It has a semi-decent 500-watt power supply in it, the case, and the Blu-ray drive, which was all I really wanted. And it has a Core 2 Duo motherboard in it, which, who cares? I'll just throw that away, or just see if, it's not a terrible one, so we'll see if any of my Core 2 quads will work on there, and then it'll be a Core 2 quad system. But this will be an HTPC either for me or for my father. I haven't decided yet. And yeah, in terms of the bulk of the pickups, that's the main pickups from those 3 bundles, totaling $370 US. What I'll probably do, sorry, trying to work around all the junk here. You can see how much of a mess I have going from testing everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble all the FX systems except for the 9590. I'm keeping that. But the 8320, 8120, I have another 8350, and I have a Phenom system. I'm going to assemble all of those, sell all those, probably $250 a piece, maybe $300 if I bundle one with the RX 480 and decent RAM and decent hard drives and all that good stuff. Probably make $1,000 profit on just those 4 systems, and then I'll keep the laptop and all the graphics cards and stuff, and then we'll just kind of keep going. I want to flip my way from what I've picked up to a RTX 3090. I am buying my buddy's MSI Trio 2080 Ti when he buys a 3090, but I also want a 3090 because 3090. Last thing is some free stuff I got from one of my buddies. I traded him for a D5 pump. I gave him a 1 terabyte SSD for a D5 pump and a 560 mil radiator. And he gave me some other stuff for free that he had laying around. A Cooler Master cooler, although I don't have a base for it, so this is going to get melted. I'm going to start melting my aluminum and copper. Make ingots, because you can sell those on eBay. A hand-poured 1 kilo ingot on eBay for copper is about $60. So, nice. Anyway, he also gave me a couple of water-cooled graphics cards, and these are old vintage stuff. You've got 2 GTX 280s with Titan, I'm going to call them Titan water blocks. They say Danger Den on them. I don't know who Danger Den is. He told me it's an old school water cooling guy, and these are just pure copper water blocks. And I'm going to put these together in a system along with a GTX 280 that I have with a cooler on it that I've had forever, and see what 3-way SLI will do in 2020. And I'll probably do that on that G1 Assassin board that has a Xeon X5675 on it. So that'll be interesting. And then I know I have random stuff laying around. I can't find every little piece that I've picked up. I should actually put everything out together and do like a full walkthrough once I've sorted through the collection. But I wanted to do this pickup video, show you guys that there's still deals out there, even in the pandemic. And honestly, just in terms of RAM, I have almost 100 gigabytes of good RAM, 1600 megahertz or better RAM, which by itself, it totals 96 gigabytes, would probably sell somewhere in the range of 200 bucks ish, if not more. 32 gig kit probably run for 150 on its own. And yeah, these deals are still out there, guys. Go out looking, hunt, find these deals, and when you do, you'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to get out of here. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Look out for a firearms video tomorrow, and as always, I'll talk to you later.